That was weird without the countdown. I don't like that. I'm gonna have to fix that. Hello, everybody.
We back.
Good evening. We're back. Happy what day? Thursday. Happy Thursday. Like Twins always says, turn up Thursdays. I almost forgot. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight is going to be a great conversation, as it always is every week with us over here. But before we get into it, I just want to find out how Twins Week was. And then I'm going to give you guys a scenario because I think I crashed out today, and I need y'all feedback. So, Twins, how was your week? And more importantly, how was your weekend? Because there was a ice storm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, yes. Last week was very interesting. Um, we didn't get any snow. I just like she just said, we got ice, and fortunately, Georgia's not built for the snow or black ice, whatever you want to call it, because they put down sand, not salt. So we don't have salt trucks and all that stuff. So, long story short, we had a nice long 3 day weekend. Yeah, Friday, 'cause, yeah, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So yeah, it was nice. Didn't go anywhere, just chill, watch TV, Netflix, and just chill. No complaints. Um, Possibly tomorrow's supposed to snow. Like actually get snow tomorrow. Curious
Oh,
how that goes. So don't know, but we're good. We're good. I got the food in the house, so I have everything I need to be taken care of in the house, but no complaints. I do get my babies tomorrow, so I might get snowed in with the kids, which is fine. My son does turn 12 tomorrow. He,
oh, happy birthday!
yeah, Aquarius season full effect. See, last week, 24th was my
It
birthday.
was your birthday.
Yeah, and tomorrow is. So we're gonna, it's Aquarius season taking over. This is what we do. But outside of that, life is good. Work is work, and I'm here with y'all. The Blood Shot was a great conversation about black love. How was your weekend? Weekend?
It was good. Hi to the real Sync. They said, I finally got the notification of your stream. Very glad to be attending. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you to everybody who is new here. Hey, Jeff, you're back. Thank you to our regulars. Thank you to our new subscribers. We've gotten a few new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. Thank you for joining the conversation. This is important stuff we're doing. Remember, as much as the show is called Fuck Your Feelings, we are about respectful discourse. We're
Hmm.
not always going to agree with each other, but we're going to speak to each other like grown folks, like adults who have some sense. So
Right.
that is my disclaimer before we go into it. My weekend, we did not have ice, we had snow. In Toronto, if you're new here, I live in Toronto, Canada. Twins lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am originally from Jamaica. So this, as much as I have lived in Canada for a very long time, let me tell you something. It was 60 centimeters of snow. I am 5'5". The snow, I would, let's see how it just my accent changed. The snow was to my waist. Okay, that is how much snow we had, and the temperatures are bitter. So, like I always like to appeal to my dear future husband, we will not be retiring or living within North America or anywhere cold. I pray in Jesus' name, amen, in the next 5 to 7 years, because this is not, we are not meant for this. I know my future husband wasn't built like that because neither am I. So that's what I have to say. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I have to be honest, I got like Twins, I got all of my food. Saturday, I went to the grocery store. I spent a ridiculous amount of money, and I realized how blessed and fortunate I am. When I walked out the grocery store, I looked and I said $162 later. What did I buy? But hey, blessed, got some food because I did not leave the house until, first of all, Jeff, you're feisty. I'm 5'5". Okay, you're rude. Okay, you're feisty. Okay, now let me have to stand up. Okay, I'm 5'5". Damn it. Anywho, okay, I did not leave the house until today. So from Saturday evening when I came in, I did not actually leave the house until 12 after 12 o'clock today. And that I am not built for this. I'm supposed to be out climbing, jogging, hiking, like at art galleries, doing my thing. And inside is not for me. So like I gotta leave 2030, 2032, 2035. I'm definitely not in North America. Dear future husband. Just
That's
saying. This is what
that's nothing
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
I'm gonna have a dear future husband segment soon because Lord knows I'm like conjuring my husband. But I digress. We move on. Before we get into the topic, and I'm so glad Jeff is here. Again, if you're new here, Twins and I are single, but we are also both divorced. And we can go into a little bit of that because this is going to be an interesting topic. I've called the show The Reality After the Love, and I'll explain why shortly. But if you're new here, I like to bring y'all into my business. So your girl is out here in these dating streets. I don't want to be a divorcee for very long. I want to be a wife again. I love being a wife, and so I'm conjuring up my husband. However, in this dating world, I have realized that I have, and as much as Twins and I hate this word, I have some triggers. Okay, and when you push, you know what, Manila College, Jamaicans have a saying, it's called push a button. There's a whole song that said push a button, no, right? Like you can push my buttons. And one of my buttons has to do with my daddy. And when I say something about my daddy, like, and you don't respond accordingly, it pisses me off. So I did not tell Twins this, so I'm getting his raw reaction on the show. And I know I'm going to be honest. I know I went a little far. I'm just going to say that, but I do want to hear your feedback. So, scenario. I work from home. I'm at my desk doing my job, doing what I need to do. I get a text. It says good morning. I say good morning back. The person asks, "How did you sleep?" And I said, "You know what? I didn't sleep so well, but amen. Thank God I'm here. I'm alive. Amen. Hallelujah. Praise God." So they respond back to me and they say, like, what happened? Why didn't you sleep well? And I said, honestly, I miss my father. So, for those of you who are new here, my father is no longer with us. He passed away in 2022. However, I am a very huge daddy's girl, and at my desk that is over there where I sit to work because I work remotely, there's actually a picture of my father that I look at every day. But I woke up today and I really missed my father because my father was my confidant. He was the person I went to for the biggest thing in my life and the littlest thing in my life. I talked to my daddy about it. And as someone, if you have never lost a parent, you honestly do not know how that feeling is ever going to be. Because Twins, you know what it is. Sometimes you just have a moment and you're just like, I miss this parent for whatever it is. So the person was like asking me a bunch of questions, and I was like, respectfully, I don't want to talk about it. You simply asked about it. And so therefore, like I answered. So this person had also lost their mother. And a mother is to a son what a father is like to a daughter. So he said, well,
Right.
I've lost my mother, and so I would think that I'm the right person to talk to it. And I said, well, because you've lost your mother, you also understand that sometimes you don't want to talk about it because I don't want to speak about it right now. I'm just acknowledging to you because you asked that I miss my father. This person went into a whole volley of questions. So I put my phone down. They went through a whole volley of questions. I then repeated, I don't want to speak about it anymore. And respectfully, can you just not bother me for the rest of the day? Because now you're actually irritating me. Like now I'm actually getting irritated because this wasn't open for discussion. This was a statement. And the response would have been, hey, do you want to speak about it? I'm here for you. That's it. That's all I need. I don't want a volley of questions. I put my phone down, Twins, and like 10 minutes later, pick the phone up. There's a whole bunch of messages that I do not remember all of them. All I remember is the word, well, I confronted you and now you don't want to talk.
Okay.
So this is when I took WhatsApp and I did this. And you know, this means I'm about to leave a
Right.
voice note.
Oh,
Okay. Because now I'm pissed. So I said, and it's not nice. I wish I hadn't deleted the messages because I would have actually played the voice note. But to summarize, I let the person know to go fuck themselves,
mm,
essentially.
okay.
Leave me the fuck alone because I don't understand why you felt the need to keep asking me questions when I said I no longer want to speak about it. And I don't understand why the word confronted me would have been brought up because who confronts somebody about the fact that they said they miss their dead father and they don't want to talk about it? Why would that be a confrontation? That word doesn't even go with that scenario. It's not an appropriate scenario when a woman says, I miss my dead father, who I love dearly, and this person knows that, to say, well, you don't want to talk about it now because I confronted me about what? So I said, you know what? How about we never speak again? Go fuck yourself. Okay? Because what a man should do, and not clearly a man who's 42.32 fucking percent gay, okay, would have said is, hey Toshiba, I'm sorry to hear that. If you need me, I'm here. Or do you want to talk about it? Because I'm here if you do. So I deleted all of the messages, and I was wrong. I'm going to say this in the beginning. I was wrong. I should have not told the man to go fuck himself. It was inappropriate. I was out of character. I've worked on myself. My therapist is very expensive. She costs $140 an hour. And we've worked on it and I've meditated every day. But what it said to me, okay, was that when anybody takes me out of character, I realize it has to do with my daddy. And I realize that my daddy is a sore spot for me. And so that I recognize that. And when you get me to that point, I just no longer need to communicate with you. I will leave that there. I will let you respond, but I will tell you what he did. Do you want to know what he did after I told him to fuck off, or should I wait for you to respond?
No, go ahead and finish. What did he do? He told him to go
So after I deleted all the messages, he then sent me a picture of a pair of boots and asked me if they were my type, because I guess he was going to buy them for me. Now, I had said to this person previously, you don't know how to love me. My love languages are quality time and words of affirmation. You want to love me in acts of service and gifts, which, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck about. If you want to gift me something, gift me a flight to South Africa. Okay? Send me there. Like, that is a gift. I quality time and words of affirmation, which are free, are my love languages. Gifts are not my love languages. And so upsetting me and then wanting to buy me a gift tells me we are not congruent, and you're also not listening to me. You want to placate me by spending money on me because I guess that's what works for other women, but it does not work for me. I had a daddy. Like, I don't, my daddy spoiled me. I know what it's like to get gifts. I used to get them from my daddy. I don't necessarily need that from a man. I want quality time and words of affirmation, and you're failing there. So sending me a picture after I told you, first of all, to go fuck. Let me tell you something. If any man told me to go fuck myself, okay, I'm done now. I shouldn't tell you guys all my business. I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a lot there to unpack. I do want to say I can tell that it is bothering you or you're upset about it because since we've been doing the show, I mean I know you're Jamaican, but your accent has been on fire the whole time. Ladies and
Very
gentlemen,
mad.
you can hear the accent. That's when you know a Jamaican woman is very upset. When you hear that accent come out and she suck her teeth, very upset. So for my understanding, you had a conversation with this gentleman. You just let him know that you miss your dad, which we understand that. I mean, everyone knows you. You're daddy's girl. You didn't want to go in detail about the situation. So, but he wanted to press the situation and have the conversation about, I guess, dad or whatever it may be. And I guess he, in the sense of that, say he confronted you, I guess, about the conversation about your dad or something. He was trying to make a point about having the conversation. I don't know the details, but it had to be something with like um, something with your dad. I don't know in detail, but you didn't want to talk about it. You just said you missed him, which is understandable. But he wanted to have a conversation about it on his term versus when you're ready to have a conversation about it. Does that sound about right?
That is a great way to summarize it. Yes. And yes, the real thing, it was definitely a lot. My life is a lot.
Okay.
Continue.
Right. So, I mean, and I lost my dad at a young age, but I definitely understand the concept of losing someone and did not want to really talk about that moment. So you should never try to force yourself with anyone to have a conversation about someone they recently just lost or X Y Z. Um, I don't think most of us are in that place to be that type of counselor to have a conversation. Who are you?
Hmm.
Who are you to give the right to when somebody have a conversation about someone they lost? And we should talk about it now on your terms. Are you a psychiatrist? No. All right. So let's not do this. And if you were the person, I will pay you for the service, and we will schedule this conversation, and we can then have it. So, but I
Oh,
understand
fuck
the
off.
concept about that. Um, I wouldn't have pressed the situation. You say, "Miss your dad," you want to talk about it. Cool. We talk about something totally different. We don't even go down that route because I know having a conversation about swing law is going to be a drawn out, deep conversation, and I'm not ready for that. I'm ready to talk about other stuff. So anyway, past that. So yeah, that's different. That's some weird vibe energy there, right? I think everyone should respect anyone's wishes and they want to talk about some of the time frame we don't have to talk about now to make it a situation more than it needs to be. Definitely, what we call that a red flag. That's something we can call that's a red flag right there. Because clearly, gentlemen, if you've been talking to her, you should know by now, you don't press that situation. So
Not about my daddy.
yeah, so you
I'm
kind
sorry,
of
not about my daddy.
put yourself in the doghouse, put yourself whatever it
Yeah.
may be. I mean, it could be blocked
Oh.
now. I don't know what it is, but I can understand why she feels the way she feels. There's a million things out there you can talk about. I left that alone, me personally. Yeah.
And to answer the question, if you would have offered nothing and just move on, would that have been an issue? No, that's actually what I wanted. I was just acknowledging my feelings. One of the things for me, and thank you for that question. One of the things for me that I have worked on is to own my feeling when I'm feeling it. And I'm not one of those people when you ask me, "Are you okay?" And I'm just going to say yes. Because that's just a bad habit that I don't want to bring into any relationship, not in my friendship, not in my romantic relationship. So I'm one of those people when you ask me, "How are you doing?" If I'm not doing well, I'm going to say I'm not doing well. And I'm going to own where I am. I'm either going to say, "You know what? I'm not feeling so well and I can't put my finger on what's going on, but I'm dealing with it." Or like I said this morning, I woke up and I miss my dad. And I own that and I acknowledge that and I have to go through that. I just wanted to say it and move on because losing my dad is still a very hurtful thing for me because my dad was one of my best friends. My dad was the person I went to for everything. Love my mom, not my confidant. Okay. My mom is my chef. My mom is a great grandmother to my daughter. She is not my confidant. That was my daddy. And now my confidant is gone and I have my best friends, which are great, but I don't have my daddy. So if I tell you I miss my daddy, just lend support and lend an ear, but stop asking me fucking questions because what are you trying? What more do you need to know? I miss my dad. That's it. Like what are we psychoanalyzing into two twins' point? If I want to talk to a psychiatrist, psychologist, psychotherapist, I have one, and she's $140 an hour, and also I have a psychology degree. So if I respectfully want to assess myself, I can pick up one of these lovely books on my bookshelf that's right here and go read a chapter on it if needs be, like for real. So again, I acknowledge I was wrong. I
So
shouldn't have told him those words, and it took me out of character.
so you for what? Tell him to fuck
Go
off.
fuck himself. And I really wanted to go. And then you can't tell somebody to suck their mama because their mama dead. So I
Man,
didn't go there
man,
because his mother is not alive. But this is where you brought me, and so because you brought me there, I recognize. Oh no, that's not a place you want to be. That's 1999. Okay, it's 2026. So I removed myself from the situation. I know myself. Listen, I know my flaws. I know my triggers, and I realize that my daddy is a sensitive spot for me. Dear future husband, just support me in that moment because it's gonna go. It's gonna like the moment's gonna pass, but you start asking questions like shut the fuck up. I digress. There's more. See, real saints, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. Real saints that I can relate. I lost both parents at a young age, also, and so you understand that that's always a sore spot for you. And when I say I'm a daddy's girl, you look at daddy's girl, there is a picture of me right there with my daddy. Okay. I am 46 and I still say daddy and he's dead. Like I'm 46 years old. Like I'm not 26, I'm 46. So that should tell you, like, shut the fuck up. Anyways, I digress. Okay. I see that there's some people backstage. Please, if you are backstage, Can you just make a comment in the comment and say if you actually want to come on the show or if you simply accidentally click the link and you're now backstage? Let us know that in the comments. If you are wishing to join the show, I absolutely want you to join so we can have this conversation. The more the merrier. So, getting into tonight's topic, the reality after the love. Are we ready? Thank you. Also, by the way, twins, thank you for those who are listening and, and hearing me. And again, I acknowledge my fault and I was wrong. And if that gentleman is watching, I do apologize to telling you to fuck off, even though I actually sincerely mean it. I should have kept it to myself. I digress. The reality after the love. So, having a conversation with a gentleman that I am engaging with, and he is divorced. And so we were having a conversation, and twins, interestingly enough, I told him that his story is very similar to yours. Met a young lady,
Mm-hmm.
had no kids,
Mm-hmm.
educated, traveled,
Okay.
well spoken, came from a two-parent home, all the right things, met her, got married in 6 months.
Okay.
Very similar to your story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She checked a bunch of check marks, right? She checked a
Right.
bunch of things. Um, and so I'm listening to him because I'm the type of person is I think past behaviors and decisions are indicative of present or future behaviors and decisions. And so I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between. So we're having this conversation, and as we're going along, it clearly gets to now that they are divorced, and their divorce is less than 2 years now. So in spring of 2024, they got divorced. He actually filed, which is different. I know. So he filed for divorce, and we've gotten to the reasons he filed for divorce. I
Okay.
won't get into it, not my place to share, but they're now divorced and they're sharing custody, and all these things are happening.
Okay.
So as I'm digging, one of the things I was asking, because I won't lie to you, he like his ex-wife lived my fairy tale. In my mind, a man is supposed to meet me, fall in love, and marry me within 6 months. Like in my life, that's what I think should happen. I've had that. I mean, I've been engaged very quickly. I wasn't married as quickly, but I was engaged very quickly twice when I was in a relationship. So that is, I was like, okay, that's great. So tell me, like, the main, because I understand that right now after the divorce, the feelings are different. But tell me, like, the main things that you guys were talking about that you felt like your values aligned. And he was telling me these things. And it was, again, she was a Christian. She didn't drink or smoke. She didn't have any kids. She was intelligent. You could tell she was a hard worker. She said she liked to travel. I said, okay, here's the thing that guys don't realize women do. And if you do, you're smart because we do it all the time. When a woman wants to be with you, we will do something called mirroring. Twins, you're shaking your head. So we will mirror the things that you say you want. So if you like to travel, so I like to travel. I don't just say I like to travel. I have stamps in my passport to prove that I like to travel. You open my passport, the one of like 5 I have over here that I still keep. There are stamps in my passport, right? I can tell you how many states I've been to, how many provinces, how many countries, how many continents. Like I actually travel. So he was like, I was saying that I like to travel and I want to travel and this is what I want to do. And I'm like, so I'm guessing she was agreeing with that. He's like, yeah. I said, okay, cool. So she was mirroring, right? The things he said that he wanted to do in her future, his future. She was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I said, so she was mirroring what you wanted to do, but did you delve into the fact, is that what she has done? And does she have plans? So if you say I like to travel, my next question is, where's the last place you've been, or where do you plan to go in the next 12 months? That's my question, right? Last place you've been, where do you plan to be in the next 12 months? Because if you said you traveled, you want to travel, even if it's just once a year, right? You want to travel. If you say, you know what, I have plans to have a business in 5 years. Tell me what those plans are. What kind of business? How do you see structuring it? What kind of help do you want? What are the things that you're doing to, get there? All those things. Like, let's talk about it. But if you're simply saying, hey, I like to travel, me too. I want to start a business, me too. I don't drink or smoke, me either. You're
So
laughing because you know it's happened. So he acknowledged to me, he was like, Toshiba, you are right. She was mirroring because as they got into the marriage and he started to see some things, he started to realize that it was a lot of mirroring. So before you start, one of the things I said to him, that I do, and I'll tell you my trick. I let people speak. So I've had men say to me, you feel like a safe space. And it's because I allow men to speak. Now, I'm going to tell the secret now so everybody's going to know. And be honest, it's not because I'm trying to create a safe space. If I do, that's wonderful. But it's because when you allow people to speak enough, you learn what you need to learn about them. So, when getting to know someone, it is not my job to impress you with who I am. It's my job to learn everything I need to know about you before I give you my pum pum. I'm just gonna be clear, like we're grown folks. It's 9:30 or close 9:35, right? I need to learn everything because that is the one thing I control. I control giving you a pum pum, and you control giving me a relationship, aka a ring. And so I allow you to speak and I listen to understand and I ask follow up questions because I am trying to get to know you to determine whether or not you are aligned with someone I want to give my pum pum to, first of all. Not even before the relate, if I even want to qualify you to give, because that's you're entering me. Your job is to do the opposite. Your job is to get to know me to determine whether or not I align with a woman you want to be in a relationship with. So I'm going to pause there, twins.
oh, a lot to unpack, but I mean, this is more. I understand the mirror thing there. I believe, as men, it's lack of knowledge when it comes to relationships. There's not many books you can read when it comes to relationships or dating XYZ. It's kind of learn as you go, unless you have a good brotherhood or good fellas that could put you on game. But what you said earlier, what your friend said earlier was marrying. One thing, it might be a dating tip, honestly. I would say, fellas out there, when you dating or having a conversation with women as far as what are you looking for, like Tavisha said, I wouldn't say too much. Say a little bit because the things that you say you're looking for, people are naturally will mold to what you're looking for. So if I'll say, yeah, I was a woman who's a Christian. Oh, I'm a Christian. You know what I'm saying? And then a great follow-up question is, well, what church do you go to? If they don't go to a church, if they don't have a church name they can give to you, then they're just mirroring what you're saying just to kind of win you, right? So you really have to just say a little bit, but not too much. I think like someone said people usually show up with their representative until they really get to know you, then you see the real side of them. And it's how a lot of people get bamboozled later on in relationship because we talk a lot in relationship. Oh, I want this, I want that. And that person's gonna do a chat box and do everything what you said you like. Oh, you like this? Okay, make sure I do this. Oh, you like want to go here? Okay, I'll do this. No. So that's exactly what's right. So the guy you was on to and say the woman he was on to, she was kind of married. That's true. One thing I've learned now when talking to ladies, I don't really say too much. I say a little bit, and like you said, I let them talk a lot because the more they talk, the more they kind of either bury themselves or I learn the real side of them. So yeah, that's what's going on now.
And I love that because, and Royal, I see you in the background. I'll let you join shortly. The thing about it is this. And this talking stage, the dating stage, whatever stage that you're in, it's fact finding. And I truly believe there is no time limit on meeting someone, falling in love, and getting married. That can happen in 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is. But during that period of time, however long it is, you are in a fact finding situation. And that is why questions and conversations are important. So I ask a lot of questions. I ask follow up questions. I'm also seeing how much you're talking versus listening to me. Are you asking me follow up questions? Are you interested in learning about me? Like all of those things I am absolutely paying attention to. And I think often what happens is we're listening and we're hearing these things and they sound very, very good. But the problem with it is we are falling in love with the idea of who this person is and could be and not the reality, which is why I call the show The Reality After the Love. Hello, good evening. You're on mute. Let us know if you want to join. You may have accidentally clicked the link that, oh, you do. Here you go. Hello. Can you hear us or hear me? Because we can't hear you. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, no, maybe so. Oh, there we go.
Okay, awesome. But no,
Hello.
I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
Oh, I love it. And it's a lady. I am so happy. Listen, let me tell you, I have been saying I want ladies on the show for so long. I am surrounded by men. So I am so happy there's a lady. Even if you don't talk, can you introduce yourself and tell us what brought you to the show?
So I was invited to the show by Twin. Just really just wanted to get on and see how he does the podcast and all of that. So that's pretty much it. Like I'm just here listening, seeing, getting some relationship stuff going on here.
I love it. I love it. I saw that you were in the background. Do you want to stay on the screen and join the conversation, or you want me to put you back out? Let me know.
I'll stay on, no problem.
I love that. Okay, and if you want to jump in, just feel free.
Okay.
So I think one of the things is, you know how they say men fall in love with their eyes and women fall in love with our ears, and that's what as I talk to people, I'm finding that more and more, right? Again, checkbox because I don't know his ex-wife, but knowing him, I'm sure she's quite an attractive woman. Thank you. Right, Jeff? We finally got a woman up here. SB is usually here, but I am just so happy. And Twins is out there doing the Lord's work, okay? Out there recruiting the women, so I'm not here by myself. I said, hallelujah. Anywho, that is what I am starting to realize is that often we are doing these check boxes and it looks good on paper. And I am actually going to make a confession that I've never made before. And people are going to come at me probably, and I'm okay with that. I was not in love with my husband when I married him. I loved my husband. I was not in love with my husband. But what I did think at the time when I married my husband, because he was in the military, which signaled stability, which signaled all of the important things to build upon the foundation of a long lasting relationship, those were the things that I was evaluating my husband against. There was also a bit of a romantic side to him because of how he courted me long distance. And again, he was fighting this awful war that didn't actually exist, but he was sending me flowers from where he was stationed in England. There was those pieces. But was I head over heels in love with my husband when I married him? No. And if I'm honest, when he was out there slinging peen and just giving it away, it made it a lot easier for me to leave my husband because I wasn't gaga goo goo, because I could then measure the idea of, okay, There was the stability, but he's about to get kicked out the military because he's out there having affairs, which is actually against military rules. So I was out because you no longer could provide me the things for me that was important. For a lot of people, they would say, Shishiba, that is wrong. You should not marry people you're not in love with. Why not? Why not? Why should I marry somebody I think can provide a stable lifestyle? Because let me tell you, do you know marriages that have the highest success rates? Do you guys want to guess? Arranged marriages. Can you hear twins? I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him? Let me know if in the chat if you guys can hear him, because I can't hear him. Unless there's something wrong with me. Can you hear him, Royal?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay, okay, good. Because I thought there was something wrong with me. Because girl, there's something wrong with me. We're gonna let him figure it out. We're gonna let him figure it out. But I don't think a lot of people realize that. And twins, just pipe in when you can. That arranged marriages actually have a higher success rate than traditional, quote unquote, the traditional boy meets girl, falls in love, gets married, ta-da. Why? Because their families align them on values, on goals, on all of those things. It isn't about some physiological ooh ooh gooey gooey love because love can turn into hate real quick. Girl.
Yes, yes, I agree with you totally. Coming from an African background, and knowing people who have been in arranged marriages or still in arranged marriages is definitely a lot better. Women learn to love men. Uh, Most of the time, most women don't actually love their husbands when they get married. Me being one of them, I learned
Mm.
later. He was a good pick for me. We both had businesses. We both was doing, good things. But I wasn't in love with him. He was in love with me, but I wasn't in love with him. I think I'm a Taurus, so being stable is something that I look for. And with
Mm-hmm.
us having the background that we had, it provided a stable lifestyle together. But I no, yeah, we got married. We actually met in April and married in July.
My dream life.
Yeah, so
I ain't gonna lie to you. That's my dream life. Are you so married right now?
I am not. I am not. I've been
Okay.
with 2010. Yeah.
Okay. That's when around the same time I left my husband. Twins, I think it's because it says you're on mute. Can you press the thing to see if you're on mute? Because it's giving me the little mute button. Because that might be it. So, and I'm so glad that you are here to verify what I said because sometimes I won't lie. They give it to me in the comments and say that I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do not say things on the show that I do not know. I absolutely do research, and that is a research I'm telling you. If you guys look it up, and Royal is here to tell you from her own experience, from her own background and culture, that that is reality because when these people are matched, they're not matched on looks and height and whether the sex is good or all the different things that we're looking at. They're matched on whether these two people can build a life, a foundation that they can raise children, that they can have success, that they can have all of those things that are fundamentally important. And yes, does it suck to some people that I wasn't completely in love with my husband? It might, but for me, again, when he was out there stealing peen and having affairs and babies, it meant that I could easily leave and I was not devastated. I did not shed one tear because the idea of the stability was gone because you were no longer stable for me. And I think that is important. And whether people like it or not, that's what I'm teaching my daughter. Stability is important. Who you procreate with is important. Who you decide to make a father is important. Whether or not that man is going to be there and be there by your side as you raise your children. Like those fundamental things are important. And the problem is when the veneer goes and the mask is gone and that physiological feeling is gone, that's called love. Love is just a bunch of pheromones and things and going on in our body. That's what love is. It's a bunch of feelings and things based on nothing. It's not really like, why are you in love? I don't know. They just make me feel good, or whatever the case might be. But you can define stability. Twins, let's try it again. I'm gonna pause now because I'm talking way too much. It still says you're on mute. Do you want to go out and come back in? Go out and come back in. We're just gonna wait for him. But Royal, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You unmuted, so girl, you can show
Yeah,
the
so
people that women are here.
um I loved the fact that, he paid attention to me more than anything. I like, you know, okay, when I met him, I was celibate. I had been celibate for years when I met my ex-husband. Really wasn't sexually active, wasn't trying to really talk to anybody. We end up working together one day on a project. I'm a project manager at my company. He was at a different company, but we end up having to work together. Um, I end up just, going into the office for, however many weeks I think we were working together. And he noticed that I like peanuts and Sprite. you know. So he would bring me like
Oh,
peanuts and Sprite. I would get to the meeting and it would be there already. Or he knew I like what is it called? House plants and stuff. I grew up with my grandparents. I didn't grow up
mm-hmm.
with mom and dad. My dad was a truck driver. My mom is a professional singer. So she was always on the road. So I grew up with my grandparents. So I have a lot of traditional um traits in me that I grew up with. So with that, it was, my grandmama used to tell me, you ain't gotta love him to marry him. You
That part. That's my daddy said.
and that's just, African stuff. You learn to love them later. So in that, yeah, I want to be in love with my next husband, my
Me
future.
too.
I
Me
would
too. Roy,
love
me too. I
to marry.
absolutely, and I'm with you. I want to be in love with my next husband, but the things that we just discussed still are more important to me than the love because actually, I think more fundamentally, I want to like my husband.
Yes, yes, me too. Me too. I want to like him. I want to I'm silly. I'm the prankster in my family. My grandmother was the prankster in our family. So I grew up with her, and with her being a prankster, my grandfather, he just dealt with it. He would laugh it off and have fun with her and all of that. And I want the same kind of love. My grandparents were married for 72 years.
Oh
70
wow!
amazing.
Ah, goodness, that is a beautiful.
Yes, and like my grandmother got married when she was 15. So like she basically was with him her entire life, basically. And like
Wow.
it was amazing to just be able to watch that. I just lost my grandfather in 2019
I'm
and
sorry to
it
hear
was
that.
devastating. I understand how you felt of when they talk about your actual father. So
Hmm.
I understand that because me and my grandfather was that close. So when people would try to get me to talk about my grandfather as well, it's kind of like it's a very touchy situation to even get me to talk about it because 9 times out of 10, if I'm talking about it, I'm in tears. So I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to be sad. I kind of just want to remember the good times of my grandfather and kind of take the stuff that he instilled in me and give it to the world. That's all I want.
Amen. Amen. And twins is back. Twins, you back.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
You are back. You are back.
What I missed? Because there was a lot being said, and yeah,
Listen, the one thing we want you to pipe in because I mean, Royal agreed with me, and Royal, I love that she's from an African background. I'm Caribbean, I'm Jamaican, and we got very similar lessons. She said her grandma said you don't need to love him to marry him. My daddy said you should marry a man who loves you more, right? Which is almost the
Mhm.
same exact thing, right? Like that man should adore you and love you because again, you learn to love them. But what we both agreed on is in our next marriages, because again, there are three divorced people on this screen right now. Okay. In our next marriage, we have both aligned on the fact that yes, we want to love our husband, but fundamentally, I want to like my
Yeah.
next husband. I want to like him. I want to like him in every single way. I want that man to be my confidant and everything else because the love can turn into hate, as you know, twins, real quick. But that like, that fundamental like, that never changes.
Right.
I would say I totally agree. I'll say this: I would never base. You should never ever base your marriage or relationship just on love. Love is not,
Mhm.
and there's gonna be times in your relationship where you're gonna actually. I'm not gonna say hate your partner, but you're not gonna like them. You're just not gonna like them. They don't get on your nerves. You don't get on their nerves. But love cannot be the base because if love comes and go, is just a simple fact. Now, if you can like someone or tolerate them, there's levels to it. And I know it sounds weird, but there's levels to it because one minute you can wake up and you can look at that person like, I can't stand this motherfucker, and she can look at you, same thing. I can't stand him, but you know what? I like him though. There's something about this person I like about him, and I'm willing to work for it. But love is not enough. Love will come and go. Anyone who's been married for a long time. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you know someone who's been married, who's still married, and they've been married for let's say 15 plus years, ask them, does love come and go in a relationship? And they will drop some gems on you. And they'll tell you, don't ever base your marriage just on love because that can go. It can go. You need to have a good foundation relationship, and it could be communication, it could be whatever things is, but love can be the standard of it. Now, one thing you said earlier in the relation, in the conversation is that men, we, what did you say?
You
Women,
fall in love with your eyes, and women fall in love with our ears. What we
yes,
hear.
thank you. Yes, I mean that's a fact. As men, we are visual creatures. Number one, so we can't even get past nothing else if we're not attracted to you. It has to start with the attraction, at least for men. And I don't speak for absolute. I don't speak absolute, so I'm not speaking for all men. I'm speaking for most men, and I don't speak in absolute. But for me to even have a conversation with a woman, period, I have to be physically attracted to you. That's number one.
Hmm.
Then everything else will fall in place from there. Now, when you start talking, first is the visual, and then two is the knowledge or the way you
The mental. Yeah, the
speak.
mental.
Because you could be bad in the motherfucker, and you say something, you can start sounding like Trina. You don't know, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know girls like that who's fine as hell. As soon as they open their mouth, I say, "Oh, I can't take you to no work event with me."
Yeah, with you.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, you have to be there and don't say nothing. Yes, no. As soon as you start talking, it's like, oh no, 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 no. I cannot bring you around a work environment. I can't bring you to my peoples. No, it ain't gonna work. So yes. But anyway,
I love it. I mean, and it's the truth. And I will just echo what you said. Love is not enough to build the foundation of any relationship, and this is why you need to figure out, especially at our big age. This show is for grown folks, right? We are talking. Our analytics tell me that it's the 35 over people, and twins and I are both in our 40s, and I'm getting up there. Okay, so this is for grown folks, and grown folks, especially women. I'm going to tell women, Hallmark has sold us a lie. Okay? Hallmark, all these advertising companies, all these romantic movies, all of these lifetime movies, bullshit. Okay? That's
me,
just not how it is. Marriage is an acquisition, it is a merger. Okay? Marriage is a merger. It is two people coming together, aligning, and being able to build and grow. No company I have ever worked with who's done any kind of acquisition acquired a company that was in default, acquired a company that wasn't doing well. They might have acquired a company that's on the rise, but they definitely didn't acquire one that was on the decline. Okay, they knew that coming together with this company was going to fill a gap for them so that they could be bigger and better. Like that is just the reality. And I know it's not romantic. And I'm sorry to like burst your bubble if you think love is relationships are about love and romance. It can be, and it can build to that. But first of all, I'm gonna be honest. As a daddy's girl and as a girl who was with my daddy through a lot of things, and he teach me on a lot of a game. My father was very big, even with me, when he told one of my fiancés he could not marry me because he said, "You do not have enough money to marry my daughter, so she never has to call me again." Right? Like, because I'm always here for my daughter, but if I'm going to give her away to a man, it's because of the fact that that man is going to be able to take care of her because you are taking on another person. And yes, we're supposed to build and we're supposed to grow and we're supposed to do all of that. But this idea that love is enough, they're lying to us. It's not. It's not. Royal, I saw you on mute. Let me pause.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay,
yep.
yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah.
She said, yeah.
That's yeah. My grandfather used to tell me that if he can't afford you, he can't have you. And in Africa, they have to gift the parents, and if you can't even gift my parents, you surely can't have me. And even with my parents now, my actual biological parents, they actually are trying to get more in depth in my life, and it's strange, but I'm trying to accept it. So they try to give me their 2 cents, which is funny because my dad is hilarious. My mom has gotten older, so whatever come out, and honey, I don't know how to take the stuff that they say. Sometimes it is hilarious. But no, I can't listen to neither one of them. My mom is super independent. I got all this money on my own. I don't need no man to take care of me, and you don't need one to take care of you. You make all your own money. And I don't want to fall into
Mm.
that. My mama is also 66 years old and single and don't want to date, don't want to be married, don't want none of that. But I don't want to die alone, you know.
That part.
And I love her and I love her strength, but yeah, it's not for me. We are two completely different women. I love her, I can say I love her, but like other than that, yeah, if it didn't come out the womb of my grandmother, baby, I don't.
I love, and that's like that is some honest conversation that I'm so glad we're having, because I'm gonna tell you, Ro, that is the thing that Twins has heard me say. We had a show where I talked about my biggest fear, and my biggest fear is dying alone. I do not feel I was put on this earth alone. And when I say I need and want a man, it's not just a want, it's a need. We did not come from the rib to be alone. And I know some people are just like, but we're independent. Like, I don't subscribe to that. I can make all the money in the world. What is money going to do for me at night?
Right, exactly.
At night when it snows, when you need
You
to get
right?
6 feet of snow of your house, gotta get to the car, you don't slip and fall and bust your ass. But yeah, all that. One thing I'll say, I just want to jump in this real quick because y'all doing the thing right now, fellas. I'll say this out there. This might be an early dating tip because this tonight's one of them conversation. If you can meet a woman who understands that marriage is a business, that's that's the key right there. If she can sit down with you and understand that, yes, I understand that marriage is a business. She understands the concept. I think y'all both will do well because I say that because love is not the basis of a marriage
At
or
all.
married. But if you understand it's a business and y'all both could have a good understanding, because then you could understand this. That is the foundation. I'll just say that the foundation is, if they understand the business, then you're in a good place.
And I'm actually going to get to this comment, and it's a little far away, but I do see it. I'm sorry if I'm not getting the person's name. But they say every company does a forensic audit. And that's in reference to the fact when I talk about acquisitions and mergers. And that is correct. Before any companies come together and join, they do a forensic audit on the other company. There are actually things called forensic accountants that go in and they look at the books. And whatever it is that the person is trying to hide, they can't hide because it's all there. So the company has to tell them everything that they need to know. We need to do forensic audits when it comes to who we marry, because the person you marry can either build you or break you.
I'll say that
Mhm.
again.
The person you marry can either build you or break you.
That is a fact right there.
Amen.
That is completely fact. And that's the one thing that a lot of people didn't really understand is you have to do your homework when it comes to relationship into marriage or get into a relationship. You know what you're getting into because, like she just said, it can break you or it can build you up, and y'all be great. But if you don't understand, if you're doing that because I I say this, I'm sorry for a second. When I meet young men and they get married or if they might get married, I always ask them this question: Why? Why? Oh man, because it's the right thing to do. Okay, I understand that, but why? And then if they don't know why, I follow up. I said, well, okay, let me help you out. So what's the benefit for you getting married? Because these are things that weren't told to me before I got married. And I might have looked at marriage totally different back then than I do now. You have to understand there's a risk of getting to this business called marriage. It's a legal document. It's a business you're getting into. But if you understand why you get into it, or why you get into it, or how to get into it, or what can happen to it, it can cost you in the long term. Just saying. Like the person that said forensic audit, that's a fact. You need to know what you're getting into. What are the risks? When company buys out the company, they don't buy them because it sounds good. Oh yeah, we want to come because we want to be the big dog. We buying people. No, because you can buy some shit over there. You can buy some shit that can mess up your shit you got going over here. So you need to know exactly what you're getting into. So marriage or relationship, you need to find out. Hey, what is your credit score?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Not it. I said, sorry.
Yes, Lord.
How much
Girl,
is your student
listen,
loan?
that is a question that I ask.
What
It's a
is your
question that
student
I
loan?
ask.
How much you got to pay back? How much you owe the IRS?
Oh,
Because
the IRS.
once y'all come together, that's something y'all both got to share that debt.
Right.
And when y'all in this lovey dove stage, it sounds great and X, Y, Z. And then when you get married, everything's good. Then y'all go to buy your first house, and you try to buy a house or try whatever, and you kind of find out the woman that you married that you're so much in love with, her credit score is a 520.
Father in heaven.
No.
And unfortunately, by that point, it's too late because you're already locked in. You can't say, "Oh no, what no." If you have a kid by her and XYZ, oh, you're locked in, buddy. She got you, and you did all these things, but you didn't know she had a credit score with is in the 400s or 500s. You didn't know how much debt she had because these lack of education, things you don't know. You see TV, two people meet, they fall in love, have kids. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh man, it looks like a great thing. Yes, it can be. But if you don't do your research and due diligence, it can cost you. I'm gonna let my plan right now. Go ahead, ladies.
No, here's the thing. There's something called a cost benefit analysis, right? I'm in business development. I am out there building relationships and getting monies from organizations every day. However, when I am going into a situation with a organization who wants to give me money, we have to be strategically aligned. We do a cost benefit analysis, right? We talk about return on investment, so ROI, right? We talk about key performance indicators, KPI. These are the things that organizations I'm talking about. I'm building relationships and it's great and it's funny and I learn about all of these great things about them. But when it comes to business, no contract gets signed when I'm asking an organization because I run a partnerships department for a six-figure check if it does not make sense and value for them. They have to be getting something out of it other than the fact that they're helping a company and giving them money. That doesn't make any sense. There has to be some benefit, some visibility, some branding, something that I uniquely offer them giving us this money than working with another organization. We have to approach, and I know it sucks. It's going to suck, but I'm telling you, if you start approaching your relationships like that, you may have better relationship. Yes, I understand the eyes are going to see what the eyes see and the ears are going to see what the ears see. But to Twin's point, if finances is important to you, have that conversation before you have sex, by the way. A lot of people are out here just having sex, and to Twin's point, don't know no credit score, don't know if this woman knows how to save. And here's the thing. If as a man, that's not as important to you because you say, you know what, that's not as important to me what her credit score is because I'll take care of everything. But if it is important to you that you guys save and she doesn't know how to save, do you have a plan? When we get married, all of our money is going to go into one account. So we're opening in a new account, and your paycheck and your YouTube stuff, Toshiba, and your stuff from your books, we're putting it in one account. And here's is what we're gonna do. This money's gonna go to this. These money goes into this, and this is our disposable spending income. A lot of people are, oh, what is that you talk about? Well, you came together. You're a merger. There is no my money's my money and your money's your money. It doesn't matter if you make $150,000 and she makes 80,000. You now combined make 230,000. There is no distinction to the government of that 230,000 when you are filing as a married couple. You are taxed not at 150 and 80, you are taxed at 230.
That is a fact. I filed taxes when I was married. It wasn't just my taxes. I mean, it wasn't my income. It was our taxes. I mean, our income. Both of us. How much you made this year? Okay. All right. I made this, and it goes to Uncle Sam. And like you said, he don't care about what you make. It's about what y'all make.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Royal. I know you want to say
Like
something.
finance, do you feel like finances is the main deal breaker in most marriages right now?
Eh,
Finance and infidelity are the two top ones.
Okay.
Oh, finance for sure. Infidelity, I wouldn't say that. Um, most women when they do leave, they don't leave because the husband cheated.
Not if he's got money.
Not if you got money. In most
If he's
cases,
poor, sorry.
I
It's the
mean,
truth. If he's poor, we're leaving. If he's got money, there's benefits to stay.
hold on. If he's poor, no, that means y'all poor.
I mean, yeah, we're both poor.
You
I
understand
married a
what
poor
I'm saying?
person.
Come on now. So
It's true. Yes, we married a poor person. So now we're all poor. So
you-
you don't get to cheat on me and then I'm poor.
but what I'm gonna say, what I was saying.
Poor people. Sorry. I'm not letting it's I've done it. My poor husband, we're not letting that happen again. We digress. Move on. Continue, twins.
But what was it infidelity and what else? Finances. Oh
And
yeah,
finances. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
finances might be the number one, and probably communication, whatever, because that stress that could bring stress to a relationship. If someone's not holding their part up or the man's not doing this part, that can really mess things up. It can really ruin things. And as most women would say, it might drop the well. Just like that. I was waiting for that sound. You
Here's the
can't.
thing.
You,
You can't I can't get
you,
moist and be hungry. I can't be moist and hungry. Okay? I'm sorry. Like you want me to be moist and hungry? No, that the two do not compute. How am I getting hot for you and I'm out here hungry? I'm out here unhoused or minimally housed, or we're in a house and we ain't got no furniture and no food. We can't even have dinner parties because we can't afford. What are we doing out here? So and then I'm supposed to get on top of you at night and ride you like a pony? Oh no, no. My daddy told me not to marry a poor person.
so yes, Royals. So back to what you were saying.
Sorry.
Is no, you good. No, it's a fact though. It's a fact. You cannot, fellas. Talking to you now, fellas. You cannot expect your woman to bust it up for you at night if
You're a poor
if
person.
if she's home all day with the kids and XYZ and it's cold in the house because you couldn't pay the electric bill or she's hungry. You got to make sure she's taken care of before you can do those type of things. So you have to hold it down. So make sure the finances is right so you can make sure the woman will act right. Ooh,
Facts.
sure the
That
finances
part.
right so the woman can act right.
Bars.
That's a bar.
Bars. Bars. Okay.
Say
Okay.
something right there.
Off the dome. Okay. I'm gonna clip that so people know. We're putting on the tickety talks, okay? So the young folks can hear those bars. But to Royal's point, you know what, Royal? Like here is a question for you because this is something that we talked about on last week's show when I put this clip out. And also, people like, subscribe, and share. If you're here and you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, please like, and turn on your notifications so you can catch us live. But let me ask Royal this. You've talked about the fact that you've done well for yourself. That's something that your mother has told you. What are your thoughts about a prenup?
I agree to a prenup. I don't mind that mainly because I'm in that percentage of women who normally make more than the man. And let's just say in my last marriage, I lost a house, a car, and a whole lot of money. And
Mm,
yeah, I would definitely tell my daughters right now, get a prenup. I don't care if you don't make but $80,000, get one. Get you a prenup. Like, no, like, get one. Yes, yeah, I'm with it.
I
As a
love to hear it from a woman. Twins.
exactly as a divorced man, I totally agree, fellas. I don't care if you have, like you said, if you make $80,000 or less, whatever. I don't care. When you go into a relationship with this woman, with a business, not contract, not marriage, not love, not marriage, business, you need to make sure to protect your assets. And she need to protect
Absolutely.
your assets as well. Honestly, I think everybody should have a prenup.
I
We
agree.
come, I come here with this is what I have. If it don't work out, I can leave with my shit. You keep your shit, I keep my shit. Now, whatever we build together, that's a different story. I have no problem splitting the money down the middle, what we make together. That's no, oh, that's
Right.
I'm cool with that. But as a divorced man who lost his house and cars and everything else, I will never go ahead. I will never get married again without a prenup.
Yeah.
If I talk to a woman and she said she's not don't want to do a prenup, we can stop talking.
Bye.
I'm cool because
Right.
I rather would be alone than lose half my shit again. Nah, nah, nope. I'm cool. I'd rather be single. I'm good.
I hate that for both of you guys. You know, my divorce was not as contentious, and I just was not that woman. I could have gone off half of my husband's military pension, and I said no, no, thank you. Because again, I get this concept, and it's funny because I was having a conversation with the guy that I'm dating, and that's one of the first things we talked about. Because you know, one of the things, Royal, I said last week on the show is I'm not going to marry a man who doesn't have anything to lose because I don't date men who don't have anything to lose. Any man that I date and marry is going to have something to lose because he would have built himself up, whatever that might be, whether it is in liquid cash or in 401k, his retirement, you know, in his house, whatever it is that he has. I'm not dating men that don't have anything to lose. So if that
Right.
man who has something to lose comes to me and says, "Hey, honey, love you, want to marry you, but understand because again, love can turn into hate real quick. Should we have a situation where we have to be divorced? Here are the terms of the divorce. Here it is. And that is the easiest thing because you talk about the bad times when you're happy. You don't talk about the bad times when you're in the middle of the bad.
Mhm.
Okay? You talk about it when you're happy. And so I encourage everybody, and to Royal's point, whether you make 40,000, 50,000, whatever, if you've worked for a company and you're contributing to RSPs and 401ks and so forth, you can lose that, guys. Like, let's have real conversation. You can lose your 401k. That is not just, again, when you come together, you are one. So when you rip apart, what do you think happens? Your 401k can go. We have, I don't know if you guys have it there too, but RSPs, your all of the things that you had, any type of life insurance that you have is also an investment. They're looking at all of your combined assets. But if you have already decided that these assets are mine, these assets are yours, and here's the assets we split, no harm, no foul, you go your separate ways.
Right. Yeah, I wish I would have did that. Well, I wish I would have known to do so when I got married. My situation is a little different. Of course, we worked together, but I made more money than him. I was a contractor. He was more so an employee. So, we didn't make the same amounts. I kind of went into the relationship with the house, with cars, with, a whole lot. And his family pretended as if he had all of this stuff.
Mm,
So, it was basically, I know this. He paid attention because he knew what I had. I always tell people he agrees now. Like, now we've had the conversation where he told me he didn't love me. He pretended to get what he needed.
damn.
Yeah. So I mean, and when you get older, you basically. But he was a what do they call him? An opportunist.
Tunist.
And
Mm-hmm.
his family raised him to be that way. He's a very good looking man. He's this, all of that. Super, he's like 6'7", everything you could want.
I know
And
the one girl. I know it.
mom
I know it.
oh, he has a house. This is his house, and we want to meet you. Want come over to the house and this that, and the other. I found out later, in our marriage, which was the reason why I always be like, well, we need to have some conversations, some in-depth conversations before we even have a relationship. Because now I want to know everything
That part.
because I was burned. I was burned. He knew I had two houses. He knew I had, money. He knew I had college funds for my daughters. Like he knew everything. Like I shared too much and he didn't share enough.
Mm,
So, with that being said, he knew what I had. He knew what he could take. He knew that I was basically bound to this marriage unless he cheated.
mm,
Due to how I was raised, you can't leave the marriage unless you know unless he cheats. That's the only way you
correct.
can. He had a drug addiction. I would put him in rehab. He would get out, he would do fine. A couple of weeks later he's at it again. It was the worst relationship I've ever been in my life. And when I tell people my story, they like, girl, how did you live? How did you do this? And I'm like, it's a reason why they gave me a name. They call me the Lady of Royal Resilience. It's so funny because I was like, most people don't even know my story. Like when I tell people, like they tell me I should write books and you should do this, and I went through pure hell. Like his family made it look like I was a monster. Like
Mm,
in court, they made it look like I was the devil, like I was feeding him drugs, like I was doing everything. Only thing that I didn't do was close my account to him. So he had money. He would take money out of my account. He stole $10,000 out of my daughter's college fund. Like it was crazy. Like the worst thing you could imagine. So yeah, now I am very cautious about dating, cautious about everything, honestly, because it's just I went into that marriage with two houses and everything. I just got tired of fighting in court and I said, give him everything. Give him
mm.
everything. Just give it to him. I want to be out. And when I gave him everything, there was like this breath of relief. Like, thank God. I wanted it to be over. Within 6 months, I ended up getting the house back mainly because he lost it to foreclosure and it was still in my name. So I just paid the money that he owed on it, got the house.
Ooh. Oh, let's get it back in.
See, the devil hating on here.
Sorry.
See,
No, they
hey,
hating on you telling your story. Keep telling your story, girl.
So it was a lot. After all of that, 6 months later, like I said, I end up getting the house back due to foreclosure. He totaled the car drunk one night. So, the insurance was still in my name because it's still my car. So of course I was still paying the insurance on the car because I just knew something would happen. And when he cheated, I had a woman call me and tell me, well, I guess you can have your way out now since he's mine now,
Oh,
basically. And she was like, and thank you for teaching him how to do this sexual act. And and she was like, and I was like, you know what, girl, this is the best phone call I ever got in my life. Thank you, Jesus. Let me go file for divorce right now. Like that's exactly how fast I went. I filed the next morning after the phone call. And then what you go through, my grandmother, my grandfather used to tell me, what you decide to give away normally is a blessing later.
mm,
So I gave away the house, I gave away the car, I gave away the money, I gave away everything he asked for. I gave it away, but in the end, I ended up getting it all back. When he wrecked the car, the insurance company paid me back. They paid me because the insurance was in my name. So he totaled the car, but they end up giving me the money for it. I got my house back. My daughter actually owns it now. I gave it to her when she graduated college. Like, I mean, you live and you learn, man. I've been through so much with relationships. It's kind of, I don't say, I think my only trigger is when it comes to relationships is if you're being completely honest with me. I want to know everything.
mm.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me about Nathan. I don't care if your feet stink. Tell me, like that's how, like I'm for real. I mean, just tell me your feet
that's
stink,
a
baby. It's
fix,
okay.
man.
We can do something about that. But tell me everything. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me about Nathan. That your white lie will black me out completely. I will walk away from you faster than lightning.
I love it. I listen. This is exactly why I built this show, bro. Like changing the conversation, and that is true because the core of that is we have to have conversations. We
Hmm.
have to communicate good, bad, and ugly. And I think one of the things that we need to get over is stop trying to impress people that don't actually want to be impressed by you.
Right. Start trying to love people that don't want to love you back. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's scary. I tell people it's scary for me to even, because I tell everything about me. I want you to know everything about me so I can know everything about you. So um there's no shocks later.
And,
I
and
don't want.
I'm gonna give you some advice because we're very similar. But I'm gonna tell you what I started with on this show after I had my crash out moment. But it is their job to learn about you, and it is your job to learn about them. That
Mhm.
is what it is. And so again, when men tell me I provide a safe space for them because I'm listening, it's because like I said, when someone speaks long enough,
Mhm.
you learn about them. And so I understand because I'm very similar. Twins will tell you, I talk about, I like to fail fast, but I don't fail fast by saying, I will say, here are my flaws. And if you wanted to, I'm a daddy's girl. I can be impatient. I have moments that I'm stubborn. Like I give that stuff. Like if that's going to be an issue for you, and now let's not even. But the next part is tell me about yourself. How
Mhm.
did you grow up? What's your love imprint? What was your relationship like with your parents? And then I delve and then I ask, okay, you have children. Tell me about the relationship with the mother, your ex-wife. That like I am asking all of these questions and I'm allowed because I am interesting. Why? Because I'm assessing and evaluating.
Yeah.
It's their job to assess and evaluate you. So you give them what they're asking, but don't give them because it's sometimes we're just like, go, let me just say everything. And I think some of it is because there is a part of us that, and I understand this is a bad word in the Black African American woman community, but it is the truth. There is some part of us, doesn't matter how mature we are, it doesn't matter how confident we are, when we meet a man that we really like, there is a huge part of us that wants to be chosen by him. We want that man to pick us. We
Mhm.
do. We do when that man meets these criteria that we have, and we thank the Lord Jesus Christ or whatever deity you pray to. There is a part of you, whether it is subconscious or conscious, that wants that man to pick you, and so we start peacocking.
Mhm.
This is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. You guys need to look up when a female peacock starts mating. That's when you see the bright feathers come. The bright feathers start to come, and that female peacock is it's called peacocking because that's when she's at her most beautiful.
Mhm.
And as women, we also peacock. We peacock. And it's because we want that male that we want to pick us. And I know pick me is a bad thing in the African American community, but I ain't what I'm Jamaican. I grew up in Toronto. I don't subscribe to that nonsense because I want to be chosen. But I have also learned that peacocking isn't going to get me anywhere because being chosen by a man who is incapable of loving me in my truest, purest form is the worst thing that can ever happen to me. And so I
Mhm.
learned to listen more than I speak. So that would be my advice to you. If you
Thank you.
even wanted it, but I gave it to you, girl.
No, I want it. Trust and believe. I take advice and then I decipher the advice that is given to me. So I get it. I get it.
And it's something because I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn, oh, again, because this is how we started the show about mirroring. There's a lot of men who I've met that mirrored me. But as I dug more, I was like, well, that's inaccurate. I remember you said that, but then we're here. Oh, okay. And I'm filing away to say, okay, if I am looking for a partner that I can build with, this isn't it. Like this is not the person I can build with. So Royal, every week at the end of the show, because I know Twins has got to go because he gets a early. Every week, we actually give out relationship advice. And so I'm going to ask you if you would like to share with our viewing audience any relationship advice. If not, that's fine. Twins and I can do it.
Um, no. It's funny. No, but I don't have any relationship advice. Mainly because I'm still learning. And then to be honest with you, for the last 7 years, I have not dated.
Mm,
I mean, I've talked to people, but like that's it. Like, but 7 years, maybe over 7 years now. Like, yeah, I haven't. I've been focused on me and getting my daughter situated. My youngest daughter just graduated college. So
amen.
I'm no, I've really been focused on family. Now my daughters are like, girl, you need to date. you know, so and now they trying to hook me up with people and everything is so funny. And I'm like, y'all know I'm not going out with anybody. Just I'm gonna find a person for me.
I love that for you. You actually just inspired my relationship advice. Um, I'm actually gonna say what Royal just said. My relationship advice for the night is before you go out there and try getting to a relationship, understand who you are as a person.
Mm,
That is very important. A lot of us are trying to date as broken pieces of ourselves. And that is absolutely never going to work. You cannot be a half a person trying to be in a whole relationship. It doesn't work. So learn about yourself, learn about your flaws, learn about your strengths, learn about the things that may trigger you. So you recognize those things very early so you do not put yourself in dating situations or relation situations, or God forbid, a marriage where you did not do the work you needed to do in order to find the partner that works. Because as we've been saying all show, marriage is a merger of two people coming together. And I say it every time, it is the easiest contract to get into, but the hardest to get out of. So that is my dating advice. Twins.
Oh wow. Okay, ladies. Also,
Oh, there he's gone again. Twins, I don't know what restream is pissing me off tonight. Hold on. Let me get you back. Uh, hold on, guys. Let me get twins back. Here we go. Twins, you're back. There we go. Restream hates us tonight. Go on.
the devil working hard tonight.
Right?
You dropping gym and talking to the people. They don't like that. But I was going to say, funny or not, Roy, you dropped a few gems last night. Oh, not last night, tonight. Even though you have a dating tip, you said a lot. Especially, I'll just grab the part where you said that. Oh my God, you said a lot. Darn it, it's had it in my head. That was a lie. Mainly about the prenup, right? That's the gem that you drop, and that's for the ladies too. See, normally it's men like me, and everyone else will say, "Oh, you get a prenup, get a prenup." It's rare that you hear a woman say, "Hey, man, I was married, I had two houses, car X, Y, Z, and I lost everything because of X, Y, Z." So once again, ladies, protect yourself as well. Regardless, if you think you don't have enough or whatever it is, protect your assets as well, right? So that was a gem. That was a dating tip or a tip for life for someone out there who wasn't paying attention. But that's for them. What I will have that I'll speak for tonight for my dating tip. Um, I mean, I said a lot today. I had little tips earlier today. Um, I don't have one in particular. Sorry, I don't.
You know what? You dropped that bars off the dome, and I'm gonna clip that one and put it out there because that again that was bars. So we're just gonna leave that. That was your tip. It was a little thing. We're gonna put it on the tickety talks, okay, for the kids and the people of God. Okay, so you did the Lord's work tonight. We good. Everyone, like, share, subscribe, comment. We want to hear again. I created this show to change the conversation around Black relationships because I want to see more of us coupled and married because I feel as if we can do a lot more together than we can do apart. And we want to thank Royal. Thank you, girl, for coming on the show. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing your story. I know that cannot be easy. As much as I chat, 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 and tell my business every week, Not everybody can do that. And if you do want to write a book, I'm just going to do a plug. I have 13 of them that I've written that's on the market. So we can connect and I can walk you through the steps of writing a book, because I think everybody should write a book, because it is the biggest legacy that we can create, because after we're gone, that book still exists. So if you need some advice, you need some help, you need someone to hold your hand, I got you, girl.
Look at that girl power. Oh,
And I say black women don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we out here helping each other. But that is one thing I do say. I say, if you have a story to tell, people are out there talking about creating generational wealth and so forth. I wanted to create a legacy. And one of the things that people will never take away is when you Google my name, it's my books that actually come up. The first thing that you see is the books that I've written. And that makes me very proud, because that's something my grandchildren can see and my great grandchildren one day can see, and something my daughter can be proud of, right? When she Googles my name, it's not me up there shaking my ass or having duck faces lips. It's my books that come up, and then my LinkedIn. So I think that's important. If you have a story to tell, please write that story. There's nothing better than being able to tell that story. And it's also therapy. I found that writing for me is therapy. So I'm serious, Royal. Twins can connect us. If you want to email me, anyone, if you have show ideas, fyftheshow@gmail.com is where we can be reached. So, Royal, we thank you. Do you have any final words before I take you off the stage so you can go back and have a good evening? Royal? No, I guess she's gone. Well, thank you, Royal. I'm going to take her off stage. And there we go. That's it, guys. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment. We're changing the conversation around Black relationships. We appreciate every single one of you for showing up. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to the old faithfuls. We're growing, we're building, and you're going to all be with us when we get to the top. Have a good night. Bye.